Pay attention, you bastards.
So I want to send a huge shout out to the family of Charlie Kirk. It's an unfortunate situation, man. You know, everybody's saddened by the situation. I don't think nobody deserved to go down like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in front of kids. I heard he was in front of his kids, people that's supporting him, people that love him. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad situation, but man, shout out to his family. Shout out him. You know, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You know, we live in a world where people's opinions can take somebody to a whole nother level. You know, people's opinions of them or what they believe in can, you know, bring so much anger to a person. You know, and I feel like we got to stop thinking like that, man. We gotta know how to agree to disagree. We got to know how to listen to somebody's opinion, decide if you want to agree with it or not, if it aligns with how you think, and then just move on. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we live in a world where we're so riled up. You know what I'm saying? Especially we getting riled up by somebody that we might not even know personally. You know what I'm saying? So for that man to get up there and put Charlie Kirk down like that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It just makes you think like, bro, like, was his opinion that, you know, deep to you that you had to go do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, man, I don't agree with and didn't agree with what everything that Charlie Kirk stood for and, you know, his opinions on different things. Right? There was a lot of stuff that I kind of was like, what? Like, bro, you weird. Like, why you think like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and just the way he went about it, a lot of times I wasn't a fan of it. I was an overall fan of him, you know what I'm saying? The things that he talked about in totality, you know what I'm saying? Because he would make hard points, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the transgender rights or, you know, talking about transgender, what is a woman, right? Having that was a big discussion he would always have. The reparations discussion, you know, things like that, like just, you know, getting people to see different perspectives of it, you know what I'm saying? Different sides. And like I said, while I didn't agree with a lot of stuff, there was things that I did agree with, you know what I'm saying? But I'm one of them people where I'm not going to get mad at your perspective. I'm not going to get mad at how you view things, and it may be different from the way I view things, right? How you deliver the message means everything. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of his biggest things is, to me, he would deliver the message a little harsh, you know, and I feel like as YouTubers or as people that's just speaking, right? Whether it's whether you call yourself a content creator, whether you call yourself a you know, a spokesperson, whether you call yourself, you know, a narrator, whatever you call yourself, right? I think that, you know, always stand on your, you know, have your stance and stand on what you believe in. But at the same time, find a way not to down people and put people down. You know, find a way to, you know, give your opinion and, you know what I'm saying, not try to embarrass people. You know, I feel like that was one of his problems, was like he would embarrass a lot of people. That kind of made people hate him and grow hate for him. Is just the delivery. And for those of you who are not familiar with Charlie Kirk, I want you to check out some of his videos and, you know, kind of see what I'm getting at. And obviously he has a lot more, but, you know, here's a few of them.
There's a woman. A woman, you know it when you see it, you know? It's like, if I look, she looks like a woman, she looks like a woman, she looks like a woman, she looks like a woman. It's the way you express yourself. So, like, all these, it's the way you express yourself.
So, if you basically, womanhood is a costume. How do black people not have access to a better life in America? What's preventing them?
What's preventing black people from having a better life in America?
Yes. What's preventing them?
Police. The government.
Hold on. No. Police. How many unarmed black men die? How many unarmed black men die from the hands of police every year?
Man, as you see, man, like he had a hard stance on certain things, and it's nothing wrong with giving your opinion. But again, like I feel like, you know, one of the issues was that he would make a lot of people feel stupid. And again, it's hard in an argument or it's hard in a debate to not do that, right? Because if you got a hard stance on something, it's like you trying to just get your opinion out, get your stance out. So it's hard to say, yo, like, I'm not gonna hurt this person's feelings, or I'm not gonna make this person feel bad or whatever when you're trying to get your point across. And I feel like that's a thing that we all gotta, like, find a way to do. Even me, you know what I'm saying, just in real life, you know what I'm saying, on everyday life, but also on this on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and just on content. I give my opinion on certain things, and people may feel a way about what I say. I don't mean no harm. I'm just saying what I truly believe. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, it's just, everybody just finding a way to be better. You know what I'm saying? Us finding a way to, as people that talk, as people that make content, as people that put their opinions out, and give opinions on certain topics, we got to find a way to deliver the message, better and not be disrespectful, but still have our hard stance on different things. But I feel like consumers have to, know how to just take in what a person's saying. Is you may like it, you may not like it, but if you don't know a person directly or really have a relationship with a person, I don't think that that's something that you should really take deeply. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I always say. Like, I don't argue with people that I don't really have real love for. Like, if I got real love for you, I'll go back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like doing that, but I will because I love you and I want to see you win and we got a relationship. But people that I don't know, if you say some shit, I might be like, man, like, nah, the way that you deliver it, I might feel a certain way, but, I'm not going to take it all the way there with you, just where I'm at in my life. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you getting super disrespectful, then that's one thing. And we gotta, approach it how we approach it. If it's super disrespect aimed towards me or my family, that's different. But if you're just on a stage talking and I disagree with what you're saying, I don't understand how a man could get up there and kill another man just by how, that person feels about that particular topic. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say we got to get better as a people, because the shit is sick. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he went down in front of all of these college kids, you know what I'm saying, in front of the world, because again, he had a huge platform. It's not a guy that had a small platform that he was, he was only getting a few views. No, this dude is getting millions and millions of views. He's on stages, he's at colleges, he's really talking to the people and just giving people insight, right? Again, you may not agree with everything. You may not agree with everything the dude has said, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just a way to look at certain stuff. Similar to like a Candace Owens, where it's like she got hard stances on things. You may not agree with everything she's talking about. You may think that a lot of stuff she sound dumb, or you may think that certain topics, she gets disrespectful. But it's a way to say, you know what, hey, I heard what you said, I listened to it, I don't agree with it, and just move on. And it's a way to take it where it's like you're overly taking it in. You know what I'm saying? So much so to the point where it's messing up your day, and it's all you can think about, and you want to do something to that person. I feel like if you're feeling that way, you gotta go get help. You know what I'm saying? Because you should never get to a point where it's like, yo, somebody that you do not know at all, that you do not have a relationship with, that you do not see on an everyday basis, or every week basis, or every month basis. You know what I'm saying? That you have a real relationship with. They make you that mad to where you feel like you got to go do something to them. That's a mental illness within itself. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start being better as people and saying like, look, I can hear somebody out, hear their side, and I move on. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be no deep situation. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, shout out Charlie Kirk. He did a lot. Gave a lot of strong opinions, helped a lot of people. Believe it or not, I see a lot of people posting them and posting like just the negative, but there was a lot of positive as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I really used to listen to the guy. You know what I'm saying? And again, you got to just be able to be one of them people where it's like, I can hear the good of what you're saying and I can hear the stuff that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? And I can take it and say, hey, well, okay, I rock with this, but I don't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Like similar to like a Kanye West, as an example, right? Where it's like, you can say to yourself, because he says crazy things, I would never listen to him ever. Because he says crazy things, I would never pay attention, never turn him on, and I would never tune into anything he's talking about because he says crazy things. But you might miss the knowledge that he's dropping, the gems that he's dropping, all because you decided, hey, I'm not gonna listen to him. And some people are like that. And I'm not here to say you should or shouldn't be like that. I'm here to tell you that I'm one of them people where if you got good, I'm gonna hear you out. Because again, I think perspective is everything. I think knowledge is everything. I think if you hear certain things, if you don't know, you don't know, right? I truly, truly, truly believe that. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to listen to different perspectives on life, something different than what you grew up on and what you hear in your inner circle, then you kind of pigeonholing yourself. You keeping your mind, kind of imprisoned. Because that's all you know is what your people then showed you of the small town that you grew up at. You know what I'm saying? And if that's all you hearing, it's like, you gonna limit yourself. You're gonna limit your beliefs, you're gonna limit your access, and that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? And some people are, they'll say, well, no, I don't believe in that. I disagree. That's fine. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just saying it's just a perspective. It's just hearing different perspectives. It's just saying, let me step outside of my box. Let me step outside of what the norm is for me and be open. And if you're not open at all, you're always going to be in that same box. It's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And once you hear different sides of the story and once you just let yourself be open, it's like, okay, then you can say, okay, I do rock with this or I don't rock with that. But I heard the side. I do rock with this. You know what I'm saying? And you just go from there. But we got to start doing that as, like I said, as people, we got to start doing that. But again, man, as always, I appreciate the love and support. Appreciate you watching, man. Like I said, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Send condolences to the family, to all his loved ones, and I hope that we can kind of stop this thing of, killing each other, you know what I'm saying? And, stop this thing of negativity and taking people's opinions and just making it so hard on yourself where you can't live, you can't think. So you got to go and do something dramatic like this. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop doing that, man. But man, like I said, I appreciate the love and support, man. I'll catch you on the next one.